After I learned how to make these ribs in the pressure cooker without water, I never stopped preparing them. I'm going to start by cutting the ribs. I have here about 4.5 pounds of beef ribs with a good amount of meat. I'll show you how to prepare delicious ribs made directly in the pressure cooker without any complications. These ribs are made without any water. They cook only with seasoning and the meat's natural juices, which are enough. The flavor is incredible and the meat is very tender. I already cut all the ribs into medium pieces and will set them aside for a moment. Now in the pot, I add a little oil to start building the base, just enough to cover the bottom. Then I add 12 onions cut into thick slices, which will release plenty of liquid during cooking. I place the onion slices across the bottom of the pot, covering it completely with no empty spots. I cut the onions this thick, as you can see here, so they don't break apart too easily. These onions will release their own juice, which will help cook the meat in a natural and flavorful way. Now I add the ribs, starting with the larger pieces. I place the meat pieces over the bed of onions, organizing them well in the pot without pressing too much. Arrange the ribs carefully so everything fits properly. Make good use of the space in the pot. This recipe makes the meat so tender, it falls right off the bone. Now I prepare the next ingredient, the smoked sausage, which is essential. I have 1 smoked sausage that I'll cut into medium thick slices so it doesn't fall apart. This sausage also goes in the pot with the ribs and will release flavor and fat that enrich the dish. Once sliced, I place the pieces directly into the pot on top of the meat, spreading them out evenly. With the sausage ready, we move on to the seasonings that will enhance the flavor even more. I add 3 finely chopped garlic cloves, scattering them evenly over the surface. I also add some chopped parsley and green onion to taste for color and a fresh touch. Now I add 1 generous teaspoon of salt, enough for the whole recipe. I continue with 1 teaspoon of hot chili powder, which you can adjust to your taste. If you don't want to use this kind of spice, you can use black pepper instead, in the same amount. I add 1 teaspoon of sweet or smoked paprika. Now I close the pressure cooker tightly, making sure it's sealed correctly. I turn on the heat, and once the pot starts to whistle, I count 30 minutes over low heat without opening. I've already released the pressure from the pot. Now let's open it carefully and check how the meat turned out. Look at these ribs, fully cooked with an amazing aroma, and all the seasoning well absorbed. They fall apart on their own. They're so tender, a recipe worth repeating many times.